Hey guys, welcome to an exciting new episode of the OT podcast. And it's Ali.
Is Jason.
Yeah, it's just us today. And we're going to be talking about fitness, mainly my fitness journey, starting at the eighth grade until now.
Yeah, this is just a smaller and a little bit of probably a little bit of a shorter episode. Just I've been really interested in Ollie's kind of fitness journey because he's massive. Follow him at Buff Bailey on Instagram. He is a massive dude. Um, and just seeing his progression. I remember when we used to play rugby together, dude. Like you could crush the Ollie who played rugby. You could
Oh, yeah.
crush him
Oh, yeah,
easily.
for sure. Like, even today, I was looking at old pictures and like the gains that I've made, not to like talk myself up. I hate doing that, but the gains that I've made are seriously impressive.
Hey,
And
you have to congratulate yourself sometimes.
yeah, I know, but like I'm always been that person for other people. So like doing it for myself just feels weird. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I understand you. So, um, I guess I'll ask. I guess I'll ask most of the questions because I'm really interested in your journey. It's kind of like what really. So you said that you started like really taking fitness seriously in the eighth grade, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was kind of like the impetus of that? Like what made you start taking it seriously?
Um well, I wanted to do sports and I was like really out of shape,
Hmm.
but like I knew I always liked to move. Like growing up, I was always in these outdoor camps,
Yeah.
taking hikes and like camping overnight. So uh, that's something that like once I did it once, I was like, oh wow, this is really fun. I want to keep doing that.
Yeah.
So I knew like in order to keep doing that, I had to be I had to be fit enough to do that.
Yeah. That's facts. That's
So
facts.
that's part of it. The other part was low key bullying
Yeah.
because being a big kid, you get the insults every now and
Oh,
again.
if there's anybody who understands, it's me, man. I'm still big.
But you're a good big. Not
I
that there's a bad big.
I mean, yeah, I need to. I mean, kind of the reason I was thinking about this is because I am getting a new gym membership to Crunch Fitness. The one they opened up near university. Um,
Yeah.
because Fitness Connection changed all their rules, and I was not really messing with that. And Crunch has they're open earlier and they're open later. So I was like,
Oh,
I can,
really?
yeah, they open earlier during the week and they stay open later on the weekends. So, because I like to go to the gym, when I used to go to the gym often, I would go at night. So I'm like, okay, I would rather be there. Because, as you said, talking about earlier, being a big kid, I'm a little self conscious. I'm a little self conscious. I feel like all the eyes are looking at me when I go, and I'm like, oh man, I don't need a. So I like to go when there's the least amount of people, you know. So,
hmm I'm a little the same way. Like even now, I I've only recently gotten okay with being shirtless around other people,
yeah.
like in outdoors. I would never, you would never catch me, like even at the pool. I would always wear my shirt.
Hmm.
Um, and it still feels a little weird, but it's a lot. It's a little comforting at times, and but even still, I feel like I have eyes on me. But now it's like for a different reason. It's because I'm like really big.
So now it's like, it's kind of like you know, it's switched from like the insecurity. It's a different type of. It's the same insecurity, but coming from a different place, kind of. It's like,
Yeah,
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 no, I know exactly what you mean. It's that's I think that's the hardest part about the gym, just because even with myself, I I tell people all the time, I don't feel, I feel much older than I am, and I feel like I'm in better shape than I really am. Like that body dysmorphia. Like
yeah.
I feel like I could like I could pick up a car, but I'm like, no, I can't. I really can't. And my knees hurt. Like I'm 50. Like my knees hurt all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
Um, it's important if you're doing lots of squats in the gym, y'all. Please make sure you have proper form. So when you get out of high school, your knees don't hurt bad like mine do.
And that's for life, man.
Yeah,
Like anything, you just need the proper form.
the proper.
That's
Yeah.
um but let's get a little bit more on track.
Yeah.
Um in the 8th grade, I started uh I didn't really see it as working out, but I knew I needed to do something, so I started like walking home from school every day, and that was around 2 miles.
Mm,
And like the first month of doing that, I hated it, but I don't know, there's something in the back of my mind just telling me to keep pushing and keep going. And I did that until the end of the year. That was, I think I started in January because I remember it being cold and rainy one day.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I started in January, ended in like June,
Yeah.
and I lost 20 pounds doing that.
Oh wow. That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a decent amount from just walking.
yeah. I was really proud of myself for that one. And I got a couple of friends to like do it with me because like they would see me on the bus sometimes. They'd be like, "Hey, what's Ollie doing?" And then they like walk home with me
Yeah.
and we'd hang out. Um, so that was nice.
Yeah, that sounds like the I always find it easier to kind of exercise with other people too rather than by yourself because I feel like when you're by yourself you give yourself excuses.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're always like, oh, I'm too tired today, or well, I have something else to do today. But I feel like when you have those other people with you, they kind of hold you accountable.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
hold
they
you.
really hold you accountable and like motivate you,
Yeah, that
even if they're not saying anything. Just them being there, it's like, oh, I gotta push a little harder because this person's here and they're seeing me,
facts.
and like I care about their opinion and stuff.
Mm, mm,
That's
yeah,
that's how I see it.
no, I'm right there with you. And then so that what and you said it was sports. That was mainly like one of the main motivators. What sports were you interested in playing?
Um, in middle school, it was baseball, and I tried out for the team and didn't make it, and that just crushed my spirits. And I never tried baseball again after that.
Mm.
But after um, I didn't do sports freshman year. I started sophomore. No, I started at the end of freshman year with football,
Yeah, I
and
remember you being on our football team.
yeah, that was only for that sophomore year,
Mm.
and I hated football, man.
I don't like football. Playing football is not for me. I could never get
Yeah,
into it. I didn't catch you as a baseball person though. That's interesting. I didn't know that about you. That you like. Did you like baseball, or was it just something that piqued your interest?
it piqued my interest, and like now, I wouldn't say I like baseball. I could watch it, like I could sit through a full game and like still be entertained, but it's not like I'm seeking out like the next baseball game to like go to or like have a schedule. I don't really like have a schedule for like any sports.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I don't really like watch any sports. The only sport that I kind of follow is rugby.
yeah.
Um,
Is that
yeah, just rugby.
is that mainly because we also played it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Baseball to me is like the most boring sport to watch. Baseball, I think football is really interesting, but I don't like watching it. Like I like watching basketball and rugby too. It's soccer. Soccer is
Mhm.
like now that Charlotte has their own soccer team, I've really been watching lots and lots of soccer just in my free time. Sometimes before I go to bed, I watch a soccer match. Which
I can't do soccer, man.
dude, yeah,
It's like it just it takes 80 minutes to get one goal. Like you're just watching people run across the field back and forth.
I get it. What you gotta do is don't watch it on TV. Go to one of the Charlotte FC games, bro. Because the atmosphere. The first game I ever went to, I got a somebody gave me a ticket to send the season pass supporter section, and
Mhm.
so I was right behind the goal. And dude, I was people were throwing beer on me. I was throwing beer on people. I was waving flags. I was jumping up. I almost fell out the stands. Like the atmosphere. I don't speak a lick of Spanish. Everybody around me was Hispanic. Everybody, I don't speak a lick of Spanish. I'm over here chanting songs. I don't know what I'm saying. The the
Damn.
the
I
the,
gotta
the
I
atmosphere,
gotta
dude, is
go, man.
crazy. Um,
Oh man, I gotta go now.
oh, you gotta. I always say like if you're gonna go to a sports game, you have to get like don't get up there in the rafters where you can't see anything. Like for your first one, try to at least get like close seats where you can really be in the thick of it, because then that's when you really feel it. Like you feel the action and the intensity. Because when you're up in the stands, man, it looks like you're watching like 2K or FIFA, right? And this looks like a video game. Um, what's that? I had another question. Is so going back to our topic, you're playing sports, and football. We are from the South, so football is very important here. So I guess you
Oh
could say
yeah.
like football was that's when I really started pushing you fitness
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah, that was my introduction to weights and more intense cardio.
Mm,
Uh weights kind of scared me at first because like I thought I would hurt myself. And I kind of did. Like the first day, since I was like a bigger kid, they I don't know why the coach did this. He put me with like some of the seniors who like the varsity seniors because he thought I could lift with them because I looked big.
mm.
Bro,
Well, that
after that workout, I could not move my arms for 2 days.
oh
My
yeah,
arms are like stuck.
yeah,
And
I understand that. Um,
but I still went back. Like after like I didn't go back immediately. And they thought I was done.
mm,
But I still went back and yeah, I got on the team and
yeah, that they did me that first time. The first time I lifted weights was junior, yeah, it was junior year, and I mean, if you went to East Meck, and you did anything, we had Coach Shudo back in the day. Coach Shudo, he was like, and he called me Gardner. He didn't call me Jason. He called me Gardner. He said, Gardner, this is what you're gonna do today. And I was like, oh, this don't look too bad. Nah, man, I got first off, it was my second to last class of the day, so I still had a class after that. I don't know how I was dragging myself to class, bro. My legs hurt, my arms hurt. I'm like, man, like being a bigger person, you're just naturally just a little bit stronger, but you don't really realize how weak you are until you start actually putting up real weight. I'm like,
oh yeah,
wow, I was not prepared for this. I was not prepared for this. Um,
oh yeah.
dude. And so football. Why did you stop playing football?
It was really like slow paced for me
Mm,
and I just didn't really enjoy it. just even playing the game, I didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed playing more like with just friends than like as a sport.
Yeah. So rugby is where you really got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rugby is like even I don't know, it felt more like it was more fun. It was higher intensity, faster pace, and I think that was like more my speed.
Yeah, man. Um I feel the same way about rugby because I also think we have really good coaches too. But
Oh yeah,
playing that sport compared to playing football, because I played football eighth grade year, and I was forced into it by my family because they're like, Jason, you need to do something. You can't sit in the house and play video games all day. And I was like, oh. So it made me play football, and I hated football. But then we got into that was sophomore and it was sophomore and junior year, right? No,
yeah,
it was yes, sophomore and junior year. We were playing. It was mainly because of you and Tricari. Y'all were like, yeah, man, just you should try out for the rugby team. I'm like, we have a rugby team. I knew very little about this sport, and then just playing that sport, I felt like I was in the best fitness of my life, even today. Like back then, because I could. I mean, dude, that's lots of running. That's a very
yeah. I
cardio
remember.
intense.
I Yeah,
Like I I even when I go to the gym now, I still do lots of cardio because I'm like, I need to get back to that level where I can run 90 minutes the whole time and not really be that tired by the end of it. Because what I remember after a rugby game is like you'd be tired, but you felt like you could still keep going. Like the adrenaline
yeah,
was still pumping in you. Um, and I do miss that sport. That was a fun one. Um,
yeah, yeah. That's something I really like too. Um, I remember like running basically like full field suicides for
oh, dude, you remember the
like
bear
two or
crawls
three
they used to make
times.
us
Just
do?
oh my god, man. Oh, Bear Seal Bear.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was man.
Oh,
Coach Mac really hated us.
yeah. You remember he used to make all the big boys carry another big boy on their back and climb up the hill. I remember that. I remember, I went
Oh
back to the park one time. I was like, I got PTSD flashbacks, man. Of the oh my god, what's the one? He had like the punching bag we used to have to toss between each other. Oh man,
yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
oh dude, it's all hitting me. It's hitting me like flashbacks. Like oh my god,
Yeah, every time I drive past it, I think about it.
that
It's like some of the worst memories, but also the best.
yeah, it was good times, but man, did you hate having to do it? That it's like once you're doing it, once it's over, you love it. But when you're in the middle of it, it's like I hate my coach. I hate that I signed up for this. I want to quit right now. I want to quit right now.
And that was the crazy thing. Like we could just leave at any time, but very few of us did, and I'm proud of us for that.
Yeah, very few of us did, and it was a great bonding. Like the cool thing about team sports, which I never really experienced until then, was like the bonding of it, right?
Mhm.
Because like for example, I still talk to you and Shakari to this day. I think like I feel like we probably still would have been friends, but I think the closest of our friendship comes from also playing rugby and going through those games and that stuff together.
Yeah, for sure.
So then, after high school, did you join? So I know you're joining National Guard. Did you join National Guard right after we got out of high school?
Yeah, I went to basic training in October, like 2 weeks before my birthday.
Oh wow! So
Yeah.
you were like high school, and I'm in Iraq now. Not joking. So what was like the fitness aspect of that for you? I know the National Guard requirements are a little bit different than something like the Marines, because my friend Jose he joined the Marines. I know that was a very intense time for him, just in terms of like the. I think it was more the lack of sleep they got, but still like even the
Mhm.
exercise part of it. What's the, like the what was it like for you in the National Guard?
Being in the army, well, when I got to basic training in October, the army fiscal year starts in October, so that's when they implemented the new army combat fitness test, which consists of a 3 repetition deadlift, hand release push-ups, this kind of relay called the sprint drag carry. What else? Oh, a 10-pound medicine ball throw that you have to do like behind your head. Um, at the time, it was the leg tuck, which is uh, getting on a pull-up bar and bringing your elbows to your or bringing your knees to your elbows, and then a 2 mile run. Now they switched the leg tuck with the plank, and I think the minimum time is for my age is 1 minute 36.
Do you think those do you that I have no experience. To me, that sounds kind of light, right? Like I don't know the that doesn't sound like I want to say
Oh yeah, it is.
it sounds lighter than what you hear about, right?
Yeah, it it sounds pretty light. It's really light if you like just want to pass it, like doing the bare minimum. It's really easy to pass. But
Mm-hmm.
if you are like really applying yourself and trying to max it, it is one of the hardest things ever.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I, oh man, I just remembered we got to take one in October, but last year we took one and I was trying to max everything
Mm-hmm.
and I got close on most events. So like for deadlift, the max was 340 and I did that. I got that. The medicine ball throw max is 12 meters and I think I got like 11. Hand release push up max is like 60. My arms are I worked out the day before, so like my arms are already sore. So I got like I think 40.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sprint drag carry, I got 1 minute and 30 something seconds. And I also tripped and fell. So if I didn't trip and fall, I would probably would have gotten like 1 minute 20, which was past the max. Um, what else? Oh, the 2 mile run, bro. I was gassed after all of that. So I got like I think 19 minutes for the 2 mile, which I'm not proud of, but we're working on it.
Is that so? Is that it's all back to back, right? There's no break rest in between.
There's uh the only like major break is in between the plank and the run. You get 10 minute cooldown period.
Right. And I know on our fitness in Hollywood episode that we did a while back, we were talking about like at the National Guard, it almost, in your opinion, that people don't really take the fitness part of it seriously, or they take it serious to a lesser degree than somebody like you. Like you're, would you say you're one of the most fit people in your, I don't know, unit? I don't know what the proper terminology is.
Yeah, unit
Yeah.
in my company. I would say I am. Um there's definitely people who can outrun me in like long distance runs. Sprints, I got them all day, but like past like past like 1.5 miles, you got it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that can outlift me in a couple things.
Mm.
Like I know for a fact Captain Boger, he's not listening, but like when he does, hey, I gotta get my bench up. Uh,
Yeah, he
But yeah,
I guess you're like well rounded. Like you're like the best of like super well rounded in what you can do. You know,
yeah.
kind of like a jack of all trades.
I'm Me personally, I don't think I'm there yet.
Hmm.
A lot of people would say I am, but I feel like I have a long way to go with that.
That's a good thing. That's a motivation, a driving factor, right?
Yeah. But back to basic training. Uh it was a challenge physically and mentally, but honestly, in my opinion, it was really easy. And I think it was because of rugby that like really prepared me for that. It was a lot of running, um, and a lot of push-ups, like a crazy amount. My my senior drill sergeant, he was the the fittest soldier on damn Fort Sill. That's where I did it. Yeah, he was like the fittest soldier on Fort Sill like 3 years in a row.
Dang.
So
So he was about it.
oh yeah, and he made it known every morning we would do PT, and he'd come in the bay and be like, "All right, let's get fit, motherfuckers," and then we'd be like, "Hell yeah, Joe Sargent," and it was like that every day. We were the most fit platoon, um, and I feel like I don't know, a little part of me is trying to like be like drill sergeant Cook.
Mm.
Like he's probably not a drill sergeant anymore, but like the it's crazy how somebody who doesn't seem like they care can like really have an effect on your life. Um,
Yeah, that's like
I love that man.
I think that's like an important part too. It's like most people, especially coming from like where we're from, in terms of like being younger kids who are a little bit bigger, it's like you find people who inspire you to be, to strive to be better. Like like bro, you know who it was for me like last year, um, or a little bit earlier. Yeah, when did Creed 3 came out this year, bro? I saw Jonathan Majors in Creed 3, and I was like, nah, nah, I gotta get like that. I gotta get like that. Ain't no way. That is a mountain of a man. Like, and so that's kind of like where I need to. I am getting back in the gym. I'm doing that and doing more. Is like that's like people who are never gonna know, but they inspire you in so many different ways. Like it's insane. Like even just talking about Coach Shudo, um, in high school, man, I hated when he wasn't our weight training coach anymore because like he was the only person in that whole gym who like really pushed me to like do better. And then once he left, I can feel myself like going back to doing the bare minimum, right? And even then I had to like push myself to get past that. But he was like a really good motivating factor at my
Mhm.
fitness too. Um, or even when I play football, my football coaches and our rugby coaches were the same way. Coach Mac, dude, Coach Mac, oh man, you know who Coach Mac looked like? He looked like Captain Price from Call of Duty. And every time I play Call of Duty, I think of that man. I got a Captain Price skin. I was like, this is probably what Coach Mac looked like when he was a young man too. This is probably exactly what he looked like.
Was
Yeah,
Wait, wasn't he in the military
yeah,
too? Like
he
the
was
British?
SAS. He was SAS. He was former
Oh,
SAS.
for oh,
Yes,
damn.
and that's why I like see Coach Mac was. So I tell people all the time when I have a conversation, there's not many people I fear on this planet. Like one of them is like The Rock. Like there's just I don't like how big The Rock is. Like I know it's not natural, so it just bothers me, like how he's built.
Hmm.
Coach Mac was one of those people, cause like I feel like if he wanted to, he could like take us all out in seconds.
Oh yeah,
Um,
without even trying.
bro, without even trying, it's not like we couldn't put up much of a fight. We
I
were
would
not.
just give up, me
Yeah,
personally.
bro, if I saw Coach Mac kicking down my door, I'm giving up. I'm not kidding. I'm like, all right, you got me. You got me. It was just a prank, bro. It was just a prank. um. So yeah, that's what even kind of progressing to the here and now with your fitness. What is like really aside of just like well, actually, let me pause right there. Me and you, we've done we've worked one job together ever, and I would say that was maybe on a list. Like if you were to break down the list of physically demanding jobs, where do you I think what you put ask one maybe in the top 15 just
Oh
in,
yeah,
just in terms of
yeah.
like and then like that job was so interesting to me because you look at the people there and the people we worked with they were not in the best of shape, right? um for most of them weren't in the best of shape, and that was like a crazy experience for me. Is just like, dang, this is like physically demanding work. How do y'all have beer bellies out here? How you over here throwing trees and chopping wood all day? How are y'all like this? What was it like?
Just
Kind of,
built like lumberjacks, man.
bro, that was
Like
a crazy. Oh yeah,
Tommy, man. He was a little older too. He was in his 50s
yeah,
when we were there, and he could still outperform us.
yeah. What was like your experience with that? Like with that kind of
Um,
was that
at
your
first it was hard.
yeah
Yeah, it was my first job. Like when I got out of basic training and AIT, advanced individual training. But yeah, that took me out. The first couple months, I was just like playing catch up basically. Like I could still hold my own a little bit and like the let me explain the job. It was mainly chipping, like throwing like tree trimmings into a wood chipper, which doesn't sound that intense, but when you're doing that for 10 hours a day
4 days a
and
week?
you're 4 days a week, sometimes five,
Yeah,
it
sometimes
was
six if
it
it's real bad.
oh yeah. It was real intense.
Yeah, it was
Um
an interesting experience to say the least.
yeah. And then when we started doing dead tree removal, like we had to like chop down whole trees and like cut them up into small pieces and stack those pieces. And some of these trees, even though they're dead, these small blocks still weigh 50, 60, 70 pounds. There
Oh
was a
yeah.
couple that were like over 100 pounds.
Were you with me? This Charlotte folk will know this. Were you with me when we did that tree on South Tryon, right next to the Family Dollar? That took us like
And
2 days,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. Every time I go by that, I see that like a hole that where the tree was.
Yeah, that right there, bro. That we did that tree, and I was like, I want to quit. I want to quit
Yeah,
right now.
I don't think I sweat as much as I did in any point in my life during those 2 days
Oh, dude.
because
Middle of
it
North
was
Carolina
like 90
summer.
degrees.
It was maybe more than that. It might have been like 93, 95. Middle of North
And there
Carolina
was
summer,
no clouds.
no
You were
clouds.
cutting away our shade.
Cutting away the only it was in the middle of a field, the only tree in the middle of a field, no shade, and I don't know. Y'all remember when we ran out of water on our truck too? We ran out of water. I was like, yo,
Oh man.
oh man, Jose had a heat stroke, or not Jose. His name was Jesus. Remember, Jesus had a heat stroke and he had to
Yeah.
leave. That right there, that right there, I got back to I got back and I saw my ex girlfriend. I was like, I have to quit. I can't. I can't. I was, I was like that video of Jake Gyllenhaal. I can't. I can't. I can't. Like PT. I was shaking after that day. I was like, oh man,
Oh,
that one.
yeah,
That
when
was
was that? That was summer. I think I left 2 months after that.
yeah. Because I left before you, so I think I left and then you left like a week after me, or like 2 weeks after me. I think it was.
Yeah.
Um. Oh man. Do you remember? This is small of a tangent. Do you remember that one those trees we had to cut down in that swamp that one time? Were you with me for that one?
I I think so.
Because if you remember, I was
Oh, yeah, yep,
yeah,
yep.
and then we had to go down into the swamp, and my boots, oh my poor boots, bro, they sunk down to like the middle of my shins. Is how deep it sunk, and then we had to cut down. That was the first time they let me use a chainsaw. I remember that. So I'm over here trying to cut in the mud, sinking as I'm trying to cut down this tree.
Yeah, that they should not have done that. For your first time, they should not have done that.
No, that was a wild
Like,
experience. Probably also highly dangerous too.
oh yeah. I mean, because your feet are stuck pretty much. If that tree goes the other way, hey, but it's whatever. They're still doing. Most of them are still there. Um, I keep in touch with a couple of them. They want me to come back, and yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's that's a lot of work for not enough money. In my
Oh yeah,
personal opinion, like if I was making like $20 an hour, $25 an hour, I wouldn't be complaining. But for 15,
yeah. I was making 14. You're making
oh
15?
oh, bro, I was making 15. Oh, you're only making 14. Oh man,
What?
oh
Now I'm
man,
heated. What?
dude. No,
All
I
right.
was I was making 15. So yeah, you got screwed. Yeah, not that is not worth
Damn.
$14 an hour. That's literally looking death in the face every day for $14 an hour is crazy. All right, so when we did that, which was like super physically demanding, and then um, kind of
Yeah.
let's talk about where you are now with your fitness and everything.
Well, I'm not doing a physically demanding job anymore. That was like the last time. Um, um, I'm working an office job at the moment, which it's pretty okay, but I do miss being outside. And in my office, we don't have windows. Um, so that is also a down.
Oh yeah, you're
But
stuck in a building.
yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. I still carve out time to like sometimes when I get bored, I'll do push-ups during the day, or there's a little treadmill uh somewhere in the building, and I'll run or walk or for my lunchtime. I'll do stuff like that.
Yeah, but you mean you still
Um,
carve out the time to go to the gym? Because I think you said you go to the gym 4 days a week.
uh no, I pretty much go every day.
Oh, every day.
Um, yeah, I find that the gym is like, I don't know, my like safe space,
Mm.
because like I'm just like in my own world, doing my own thing. And I don't have to like worry about anything else
Yeah, it's like
in
you're
that moment.
you're home away from home.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Um, so yeah, I spend around an hour and a half to 2 hours every day in the gym.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good amount of time. That's like I would say
yeah,
that's more. Most people do it for an hour. 2 hours is actually really good. Hour and 30 minutes to two is really good.
Yeah, if I'm really pushing it, I think the most I've spent in the gym is 3.5 hours. But that's because like I wanted to get this workout done, and then like every like 30 minutes I'd see somebody I knew and they would want to talk to me, and I'm never gonna say no to anyone want to talk to me. So
And then you have
yeah,
to pause and restart.
yeah.
I think the longest I've ever been in the gym is 2 hours and 30 minutes because when I was going more consistently, I really like the cardio. So I get on. My whole thing is anytime I go to the gym is 45 minutes to an hour minimum on a treadmill, and like it's like set to like
Minimum.
5 incline and maybe like 4 speed. So like it's not I'm not running, but I'm not walking. I'm like the brisk jog kind of, and it's also
Hmm.
uphill. I do that for about 45 minutes to an hour. Then that's when I get into the lifting and everything else. That just for me because I like cardio. I think cardio is like fun if you do it right, right? Like I have my headphones in, I'm listening to a podcast or I'm listening to music. And for me, what I like to do is I would just start, or if I wasn't listening to music, I just start thinking about stuff and like talking into my notes app about stuff. Because I also go to the gym and there's not many people in there, so I'm not worried about people hearing what I got and what I'm saying. So it's like I'm talking to Siri, having it go right into my notes app, just thinking about stuff or ideas for stuff. It was helps clear of a mind. And then I used to put all my anger into the weights.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
I used to have really bad anger issues. Um, I still kind of do. I get a road rage a lot, as my sister and Hope could probably tell you.
dude, I think that's just an inbuilt male thing, the road rage. Cause look, man, if the roads are a separate place, because I don't own a gun. I'm just telling you off rip. Because a lot of people would get their life taken. Because I'm telling you, oh man, like I just dropped off my brother. He starts he moved onto his college dorm room and everything. And I went back, and this dude is honking his horn at my mama while she's driving. I'm like, oh man, lucky it's my mama in the car, because I wanted to throw the drink at him. And I just yeet it right at his front windshield. I thought about doing it too, and I was like, I need to calm down. I need to calm down.
Your mom had to lock the windows.
I had to calm myself. Um,
Oh yeah.
One thing I want to talk to you about is like your diet. Like, what is your diet like?
At the moment, it it's not what you would like to hear from someone like me. I eat whatever I want whenever I want, and um, I try to like stay healthy for the most part. Like I'll eat like rice, and I'll stay away from like fried chicken and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, it's like rice, like grilled chicken, uh, beef sometimes. For the most part, there's like no pork in my diet. I'll have potatoes every now and again,
yeah. Same.
but
No pork in my diet.
yeah, it's pretty much like a Chipotle bowl. That's what I eat for the most part every day. Um, but yeah, I love pastries, and there's a little vending machine at my job that has honey buns, and bro, I I can't stay away.
Oh, dude, the honey buns. That's how they get you.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
oh
dude,
yeah.
for me, I've actually personally, I've done a really good job of staying away from candies. Like, I got a bag of candy today, and I want to say that's the first time I've had a bag of candy in like 3 or 4 weeks
Hmm.
since before I went to Washington for vacation. So like it's been a while for me. That's been almost a month now. Yeah, actually more. Yeah, a month now. So dang, I stay away from candy. But you know what gets me, man? It's soda.
What?
It's soda, man. Because
Mm,
I can't like the idea of having dinner with just water. I can't do it. I need like a tea or some sort of apple juice or cranberry juice or soda, like a Dr. Pepper. I need something to go with my dinner. It can't just be
Mm,
water. That's the hard part. I drink lots of water as an individual, but with my meals, man, I got to have the bev. I gotta have a
yeah,
beverage.
that's something that like my mom growing up, she would never let us have soda. So like even now, carbonated anything, I hate it. Like it just feels weird. So
Uh,
like I just stay away from soda. I'll have a soda like maybe once a month, but that's it.
Dude,
Um,
I grew up on Sprite. Like I need Sprite. I need Sprite or else
yeah,
my body will shut down.
yeah. My mom, she didn't even buy juice because like she was like, "There's way too much sugar in this." This is all from like watching Oprah and Dr. Phil that she got this information. But
She's not wrong. What I realized for myself, man, is I still drink too much soda. Um, but I like juice, man. I like juices. My two
mhm.
favorite fruits, mango and pineapple. So like if it's mango anything, you got me. You got pineapple anything, I have to drink. I have to have it. I have to have it. I can't resist. So like
Yeah, something I started doing is getting those Mios.
oh
Bro,
yeah,
I
the flavored
love
drink,
those.
the flavored
Yeah.
things.
I think that's like the best of both worlds because like I like when I use that, I drink more water because it tastes better.
Hmm.
Um and I'm like tricking my mind and thinking that like I'm getting that sugar too.
Dude,
So
for me it was that I like sparkling water. Because sparkling water really doesn't have that much sugar in it. Not like your Perrier's and your LaCroix, because that stuff tastes terrible. But like sparkling
I
water,
was
man,
about
just
to
has a.
say, you drink sparkling water?
There's like this, bro. My grandma, when I lived with my grandparents, when I was younger, my grandma used to go to Walmart, and there was a Walmart brand sparkling water, and they had a strawberry one, I like a cherry one, and she used to buy me like four at a time, and I would destroy those things because it's water, but it also tastes like strawberry. It tastes like fruit too, but it's not like
Hmm.
colored or anything like that, and doesn't have that many like not a whole lot of sugar in it or anything. It was carbonated too, so it still felt like you were drinking soda. That
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, that destroyed me because like the thing about LaCroix and Perrier is that they they savor fruit flavor, but like LaCroix tastes like if somebody held a bowl of strawberries next to a drink and said, "Okay, now this is strawberry flavored." That's kind of like what that tastes like. I want something that's actually strawberry flavored, right? Like that's what I want.
Hmm.
Um, I don't really touch any of that stuff anymore. Now, like if I drink water now, it's gonna be real water. Like sometimes I'll add like the like you said the flavoring packets and stuff to make it like a juice kind of thing, but for the most part,
Hmm.
it's water. Like I still gotta have a soda or juice with my dinner. Um,
Oh yeah.
so I will say this for anybody listening: I'm not a religious person at all, but the minute I took pork out of my diet, like I was like, there's a reason Muslim people and people who follow Judaism don't eat pork. Like even in like Christianity, they also talk about like not eating pork a lot. And I started cutting out my pork out of my diet, and I get better sleep and I feel better. Like
Hmm.
so, I'm like, oh man, I'm like almost like low key to the point I might cut out more and more meat. Like the hardest meat to cut out is chicken for me.
Oh yeah, but it's chicken is a good meat to have, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like if I could afford to eat just chicken and salmon, I would.
Oh, dude, salmon is so good. I love fish. I love fish. Like, you don't even get to be fried. Like salmon. Um, I want to go fishing again because I want to catch catfish, dude. I've only had catfish once, and I loved it when I had it. So now I've been like craving it for the past like 5, 6 years. So man, I want catfish, man,
Years?
bro. So the only time I had catfish was when I went to Charleston with my mom for on during a summer vacation. That's the one and only time
Mhm.
I've ever had it. And since then, I haven't had it again because I don't want to get it from anywhere else and like ruin the experience in my mind. Like that place, it was so
Nah,
good.
bro.
I was like, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin how I feel about
Nah.
catfish.
Hey, we're going to Super G Mart and we're picking up a live catfish, man.
Picking up a live catfish,
Yeah.
you can pick up. We got fry that bad boy up.
Oh yeah, we got to.
Got to. Uh, I gotta go fishing again. I've only been fishing once too, and I really want to go again. Yeah, it was
Um,
really fun.
yeah,
Um,
me too. I've been thinking about like getting a kayak and getting some fishing poles.
oh yeah, going out to like the whitewater sand.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been kayaking. The one time I went kayaking, I flipped over and I lost my glasses in the Catawba River. So they're somewhere. They're somewhere in the Catawba River. And oh, speaking of fitness, I have really good leg strength, but I have like no upper body strength, so I couldn't lift myself back into the kayak. So they
Mhm.
had to come pull up a boat to drag me back to shore because I couldn't. Like with the life jacket on and everything, I was so heavy I couldn't lift myself up to get. I couldn't even lift myself up to get in the boat. I was like, man,
Mhm.
if I had something under my feet, I could boost myself up because like these legs are strong. But it's like if I get,
Oh shit.
it's yeah, no upper body strength coming from this. Like very
Yeah.
minimum.
That that reminds me. When I started like working out, like walking home every day, I got like super big legs
Hmm.
and like my leg strength increased like so much, but I was not doing like push-ups or anything. Like I would do the occasional like 10 push-ups a night or something that I saw somewhere online. But apart from that, I was not doing any upper body stuff. And not until I went to a camp that summer, that eighth grade summer, yeah, eighth grade summer, that like I realized how weak I was.
Yeah. Your
Uh,
body probably looks like disproportionate to like really big legs but
yeah,
skinny everywhere else.
yeah, yeah. I was, um, I was in a pool and like I was just like trying to get out, but like I couldn't like pull myself up and out. Like I had to walk over to the stairs. I also couldn't swim, so
Oh yeah, man. Oh, that is one thing I don't understand. People out here, you need to know how to swim. That is just a base level survival thing. My girlfriend doesn't know how to swim either, and I'm like, I can't go anywhere with you because if you ever go to anywhere near water, you're in danger. You're in danger to yourself. Like you need to know how to swim. Like just bare minimum know how to swim, y'all. Please, please.
yeah.
You don't have to be good at
I
it.
wanna like I'm me personally, I wanna like learn and like get pretty decent at it, or at least get confident in the water. Um,
You know how to at least tread water though.
yeah,
All right. See, if you can do that, that's decent. Like that's the first step. If you can tread water, everything else comes easier. But like my girlfriend, she doesn't know how to tread water or anything at all. Like she gets in the water, she's sinking, and I'm the guy to go rescue her. I don't want to have to do that. That is
yeah,
people out here, please know how to swim. Oh, my
but
mouse
yeah.
just died.
Um,
Yeah, that's not good.
uh, but yeah, right now what I'm focusing on is in the gym. It's being I don't know what like the right term is. I've heard it called a hybrid athlete. Like you can lift heavy and run long distances. And like everywhere I see, I'm seeing people who are saying like that doesn't work. Right? It's either one or the other. But I think you can do both. And I've seen people do both. So I'm like, why can't I do both? You
Isn't
know?
that just like a basketball player? I mean, Dallas lifts weights and he's does lots. I mean, it's tilted definitely more towards the cardio aspect, but you still lift weights to build out your upper
I'm
body
talking
strength.
about like being able to like run a 2.5, 3 hour marathon, and then also deadlifting 700 pounds.
All right, never mind Vin on what I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, like no, I kind of understand.
And
That's because most people do go either or. It's like you ever go super cardio heavy or like a CrossFit, or then there's
mhm,
and being everybody else is like, okay, I'm gonna get as brolic as possible.
yeah, I'm trying to get that, I guess, in between of each and combine them.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's partly because I like this past year, um, before I got uh this new job, I was looking at the fire department, and you need to be strong and you need to have good cardio for the fire department. And I was also looking at special operations in the military, like Ranger, Green Beret, um,
Dude, you should become a ranger.
PJ. I'm still thinking about it. I could do it.
Don't you have
Um,
to be recommended to get into ranger school, or can you request to join?
well, I'm not too sure about that, especially because for ranger school, you have to have a certain job. Like they have a list of jobs that they'll take, and if you don't have the job, you have to like reclass into that job and then go to ranger school, which is it sounds like a lot of work that I'm
It's
not really
a
trying to
bit
do right
very,
now.
very bureaucratic and paperwork heavy.
Yeah,
Um,
but I've also heard that like ranger school, it like yeah, it's physically act or physically challenging, but it's also like a leadership school, so like anybody can go. And
mm,
like the job requirement thing only applies to like active duty people who are joining the Ranger Regiment, which
mm,
is different from having the Ranger tab, which is a whole thing.
yeah,
Um,
that's a whole thing us in the civilian world aren't equipped to understand.
yeah,
um, this special operations stuff is interesting because, and he will correct me if I'm wrong, but Jose, for those who don't know Jose, that's my best friend. He was talking about when he first joined the military, he wanted to be a PJ. And if I remember correctly, that's a pararescueman, right? That's basically a para-dropping medic, if I'm pretty sure.
yeah, a para rescue jumper.
Yeah, and that's what he wanted to do. If I remember correctly, he'll correct me if I'm wrong. And I was just looking at that, I was like, oh man, this is a really interesting. I mean, the military has so many different fields of things for people can do. It's really interesting because I mean, what each branch of the military also has like their own. Each one of them have like three of their own special forces, and it's so many. It's really filled with opportunity. Um,
Yeah, man. Even the Coast Guard. I don't know what they're called, but they got them.
bro, yeah, Space Force even has special forces. It's crazy. Everybody's got it. Um, is everybody has it. What else? What other questions do I have? To kind of, because you're Buff Bailey. This might be your episode where you blow up and you become the next Instagram sensation. Gonna start
Yeah.
selling anabolic steroids on TikTok.
Uh, I I wish I could, but yeah.
No,
No, I
N-
can't. Not yet. Not yet.
not yet. You can't sell out yet. Just a little bit longer, then you can sell out.
Yeah.
um, Sell your supplements. What was that guy's name? Liver King. Never touched this stuff. I've never done this stuff. Don't even know what it looks like. Sir, you look like a video game character. You are on steroids. Don't lie to. I can tell,
There's no doubt.
bro.
Everybody did. I'm surprised people actually thought he was natural.
Bro,
There's no way.
he looked
But
like a Street Fighter character, bro.
but
He did not look like a real person.
but talking about supplements, right now what I'm taking, um I'm taking creatine, Of course, protein powder. I have this plant-based protein. I don't really like whey
Mm.
or like other dairy-based proteins because I'm lactose intolerant,
Oh yeah,
and
tell me about it.
that's yeah, that's no bueno. Um, oh, I have this peanut butter protein thing, which
Mm.
is it's more like for flavor, but it's really good. It's good for people who are trying to like cut and don't
Yeah,
want to add peanut butter um to their like protein shakes and stuff.
yeah. Would you say So I protein powder for me is a little bit hard because I don't like chalky protein drinks and powders, right? I like them
Hmm.
like kind of. I don't know if that's the right way to describe. You know what I'm getting when I say chalky, right? Like they gotta
Yeah,
like they
it's
taste
like
too.
dry.
Yeah, yeah. I prefer the ones that are very that they have they like milky consistency, kind of more like like a smoothie rather
Hmm.
than a shake. I guess is the proper way to say it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I prefer. Um, but the plant based stuff is that chalky?
No, it's really like smooth.
Mm,
Um and it tastes a lot better in my opinion. I hate chocolate flavored anything, so in my opinion, don't get the chocolate flavored one. But it's Orgain, that's the brand. And I always get the vanilla one. It's
What is
pretty
your
good.
what's your favorite flavor of protein powder?
GNC had this peanut butter. No, it was oh, what was it? Man, I'm gonna
It's gonna make you lose your mind now because you don't remember.
yeah, it was like this cheesecake flavored one,
Oh, dude, that
like
sounds
this
amazing.
caramel cheesecake, and it was a whey protein. It was so good, so good.
My
But
mom.
I
Oh, sorry, I cut you
yep.
off.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's whey protein, so like I just can't do that to my stomach. But
Sometimes you have to make the sacrifice, man.
that's
Sometimes
a big sacrifice though. Those jars are huge.
they as I am also lactose intolerant. And I'll tell you, no matter what, I'm gonna eat ice cream. Yeah, I'm gonna eat ice cream. It's just this is the way it is, and I'm gonna have to deal with it later when I get home. Like, bro, when we went to oh man, this is crazy. You remember when we went to Five Guys and I got the shake?
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro, it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm over here, help, help me! I'm over here dying, begging for my life, man. I was like, oh god. Oh yeah, if I go back, get off, and go back to sleep. 5 minutes later, stomach rumbling. Oh, I gotta get back up. Uh,
Dang.
all at
Dang.
2 a.m. in the morning. And it's the sacrifice we make, right? It's what you gotta do. Right? I can't give up ice cream. I refuse to do it. Um, but I do drink lots of almond milk. Almond milk helps.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Um,
that's I use that ever since I cut out milk, bro, my life has just been better.
dude,
Honestly.
bro, I used to wonder in school all the time, like growing up, was like, why do I always have to use the bathroom after lunch? That's because they give us milk, and I'm
Hmm.
like, bro, I'm lactose intolerant. That's what it is. That's why I gotta go to the bathroom every lunch period. Oh, it all makes sense now. So I'm like almond milk. We used to do soy milk, but we don't do. We just do almond milk here now. Almond milk, top tier. My mom buys the Amazon one. First off, Amazon delivers groceries straight to your doorstep. Amazing. Um, very lazy, but amazing. So we get the Amazon basic stuff. That's really good. But we're hitting our time here. Right? We made it to about an hour. I was gonna say a minute, and I was like, no,
Oh
this
dang.
has been longer than a minute. Yeah, make it to an hour.
Oh wait, let me finish up on the supplements.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So creatine, protein. I take ashwagandha, which helps with recovery.
Mm,
Fish oil, which helps lubricate your joints, keep them not feeling old. And calcium, magnesium, and zinc, just for like bone health, and magnesium for sleep.
mm. I didn't know magnesium helped with sleep. I need to try that.
Yeah. Well, be careful which magnesium you try because there's two that I know of. One really helps with sleep. The other helps with constipation. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know which magnesium you're talking about helps with constipation.
yeah.
I've been down that road before. I've been down that road before. Um, well, I know before we started, I said you were gonna lead this, but halfway before we started, I switched the idea I had in my head around to just asking you questions. Um, but I will let you take us out of here. So
All right. Well, thanks guys for listening on our podcast about fitness and our fitness journeys. This has been Ali,
this has been Jaysen.
and we'll catch you next time. Yeah.
So actually, this will be cool. If you're listening, please write in our comment section some of your favorite animated movies from childhood, or they don't even necessarily have to be from childhood. They could be from your favorite animated movies from now. I really want to hear you guys' opinions, and we can bring them up and we can talk about them. Um, if it's not Princess Mononoke, you're wrong. Uh, but yeah, guys, this has been the OTOT podcast. Check us out
Oh,
on
Instagram,
yep,
Threads, Twitter.
yep. And
Are we on Facebook?
we're not on Facebook, but we do have a YouTube channel now.
Oh, yes, we do. We
Yes,
do.
we are on YouTube. We have put out all of our older episodes on YouTube. You can check us out there. Um, this this is gonna be like a podcast at a time because they're already on YouTube. They'll be on YouTube 2 weeks by the time this comes out. But yes, we are on YouTube. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, all right.